Good night, fellow punchers. The clock on the wall is 13 minutes past 10. Back with two for tomorrow, both over the sticks. Cheltenham news today. What was it? Joyous is supplemented to the mayors for JP and Nicky Henderson. He sort of hinted at that the other day. Nicky did, so it happened. They'll have a chance, I suppose. Well, every horse in the race has a chance. But it looks like, according to the exchanges tonight, that Lossymouth will run in the exchanges, drifting on the champion hurl, and I think it's 2.6 for the mayor's hurl. So money talks, as they say. Patrick Mullins is down to ride transmission if James Bowen, his appeal for his 7-day ban is on tomorrow. In the event, I think that James Bowen can ride, he will, although Paddy Mullins Jr., or there was only the one Paddy Mullins. I shouldn't be calling him, he's Patrick Mullins. There was only one Paddy Mullins. He rolled it to victory in Cheltenham before, so he knows the horse, and he knows that the step up in distance will suit. I said a few weeks ago when it was 12-1, we knew it was going to this race. Those other people suggesting at the time it would go to the Ultima, wherever. No, it was never going there. So I said at the time, if you wanted to back it at 12-1, it's into about sixes now. It's a lot of money for the last couple of days. It's a pity that Mullins isn't riding it, and it would have been the same jockey system as other years, but professionals can ride in the National Hunt Chase this year for the first time, isn't it? For the first time. The exchanges with, as regard Borwick the board has settled down. It's about evens now. It was drifting a bit yesterday, but I'd say they can be manipulated easy enough. It's only small money you can put on, tens and twenties. I'd imagine a bookie chain could manipulate those handy enough. I'm not saying that they do, but it'd be handy enough to do it. And people didn't want to see it drifting out or something. They get on something else. We had two running today. I said I went with different tactics for the races today. It nearly came off with Thurles and Summer. And I was uploading the video last night and I thought of the young lad's name, Dara O'Sullivan, but I seen it in the comments. A couple put it in later. Thanks to that. He done us a good turn before. There was money for today, and he rode a cute enough race. Like he came from stall 8, a bit in wide, but he had his chance to give it the boot. I'd say the ground was in Lingfield was a bit on the fast side for it, because the horse that won had won in Kempton before, a fast surface like Lingfield. Chelmsford would be a bit slower, and slower than that would be Newcastle. So we'll watch it if it runs in Newcastle, perhaps. But he rode a good race. He has a good head in him. And then a lot of money for Matchless. A lot of late money. He went off favourite in the finish. And it was going decent enough, but it wasn't jumping well enough. And stayed on to be fourth. There was disappointment in the run. And first time out for Archie Watson, Brodie Hampson in the saddle. That won. Normally, Collington, yeah, it runs well in fast track like Musselburgh, and yeah, and that drifted out from 74 to 130. So the same money talks, but not every time. Anyway, it's not that, but this. On to tomorrow. I was looking at Fontwell, and went through Wincanton and went through Newcastle. I only found the one that there was a bit of an angle to. A handicap hurdle good to soft the conditions, feet on the ground. The handbrake was on. I'd prefer if this was actually more of a trip, but if it's kept up with the pace. As you can see, it ran a couple of point-to-points, 3 of them actually. And then first novice hurl beaten 47 lengths. Bit of an improvement then in your Toxeter. It was only beat, and his handbrake was on at the back. But the last day, and it was kept back. But it ran on well. And the horse that it gets in proximity to is rated 107. Rated 3 behind, or 3 lengths, a length and a quarter behind. And there's 8 pound in the difference in the weight. But it's a nice jumper. It's a big sort of a chasing type in the future.
There'll be a super boost every single day of Cheltenham 2025.
This winter, can she go one better today? Dartmouth Rose, James Best the inside, and then Paradise.
It's back there in the white sleeves. But it's first time in a handicap tomorrow, rated 89. But as you'll see coming up the stretch here, it's a tight hold on it, but it jumps well enough. Still didn't ask it anything at all. He could have pushed it on there if he wanted, but he didn't. Just gets to, then he's just out for the sun to drive. Jumps well enough here again. Sort asked it here a little. One tap. Another one, then steady. Up and over. Grand. Gets up behind him. That's the way. Didn't bother after that. That's a decent enough run. The favourite was 2-5, like. So that had to go on and win it. So to finish close enough
Adrian Keatley and Danny McMenamin, I Am the Moon second, feet on the ground third, clear.
Rated 99. They should let off the handbrake tomorrow, keep it closer to the pace. Johnny Burke back in the saddle. It's a 4-1 shot mostly everywhere, bar the numbers bookie, and they're 3-1. They're tight enough lately at night when they're not guaranteeing the prices. I was looking at Thurles as well then. Actually, we'll have a quick look at the 4 o'clock first. 4 o'clock is a fierce interesting race, but you don't know what's going to happen. You have that Cowper Hall. It's his first run for Gavin Cromwell. It used to be with Liam Lennon. It was in the race Stevens' day that we tipped up and we got a few pound out of it. Pralagnan for Tony Martin. That needs good ground because it ran decent enough in Dundalk. It used to be in France. Won a race in France way back, 2021. But it came to Tony Martin. Them 3 runs of 75, like add 40 to that, you're 115. But the handbrake was on back here when it ran in its 3 bit 58 lengths, 32 lengths and 98. Got a mark of 93. It's handicapped to win a race, but the position of handbrake is important. That's why I put it up that day. But the horse that was in 3rd that day, what day was that? St. Stephen's Day, wasn't it? It was Cowper Hill, and it was with Liam Lennon. It was interesting. It was gambled on from 40s into 9-2, joint second favourite, for a small yard up north, and he had Connor Stone Walsh riding it. It took a bit of dash to do that. Moving yards then to, like, this could actually hose up tomorrow. And even if it drifts a bit in the betting, it could still hose up because it could be too good. But you have Pelagnin as well. So I just left that race alone. And I was looking at the Maiden hurdles. And I thought on the ground tomorrow being good to Yielding. There was a horse that I had noted on good to soft ground was Bon Pardon. Now there's a strong favourite in this. It fell going to the last, which is upsides the eventual winner in Limerick. And then it ran in the bumper that that horse was going as one of the favourites for oh God, can't think of it. I'll have to look. Game of Inches ran in the bumper. It was way back the field. So people that has Game of Inches back tomorrow, they'll be really hoping that that horse will run well. But the ground is different now. And I thought a horse that ran well on good to soft ground, had it marked out, was this horse. Because if you look at it, that was a decent run first time out in a bumper. Then on Yielding to soft, weren't even bothered here behind Butch Cassidy. But this race here on good to Yielding, 2, 3.5, and the horse that was fifth, that Salisbury Hill, that won in Leopardstown since. Those two horses have ran since, but it's on heavy ground. So you can't take it that they ran the race because the ground was totally different. But this horse was up at the pace all through. Here he is on the inside. And he was a bit green coming to the last. Otherwise, like with a bit of experience, he might have come on and won it.
Glory and Keith Donoghue, and then Bon Pardon and Sean O'Keefe in a fourth interchangeable, and Danny Mullins in between the final two flights. And Salisbury Hill is finding on the inside, has just come back to the front from Hills of Glory, interchangeable, still gaining on the outside of Bon Pardon. The final flight, Hills of Glory jumps back to the lead from interchangeable on the inside. Salisbury Hill, then Bon Pardon, interchangeable coming on the outside of Hills of Glory. Up the running rail is Bon Pardon, couldn't make it up, is finishing best of all. It's head and head, Hills of Glory, and on the stand side, interchangeable, they're going to the line. Hills of Glory, interchangeable, and might have just got the ball from Hills of Glory.
That horse that died a death there, brought back to 2 miles, won at what do you call it, at Leopardstown. In an event like this, what I do normally is I'd back this each way, half the stake, and I'd go, it's 9-2 without the favourite. So even if the favourite wins, if it finished second, you'd be grand. You get your each way back and a bit of profit, and then you'd have like the 9-2 win bet without the fav. Mac the Chemist, and that ran well actually, first time out, wasn't it? Yeah, that was in a decent race there. Step up and trip for the first time. That ran the day I was in Clonmel at Dragool. This is the horse. Anyway, keep an eye on the 4 o'clock to see how the market develops. And that's about it. Bash the bookies, over and out.